Hello, this is Root Source, Bob Odell here with Iry Ricci, and we've been talking about what it's like to be here at the reformation of the State of Israel after almost 2,000 years. One thing I didn't ask you, but I knew that I should have asked you, was about your name. There's a connection between your name and this story that we're telling. What is that?
When I was born, my father was already the mayor of Tel Aviv.
Oh, you're already the mayor?
Yeah. And he wanted a special name, and somebody suggested to him, and he took it. My name means my city.
My city, Iry.
City.
Like
Iry, my
yes.
city.
Okay.
And because he was in love with Tel Aviv, with his city,
Whoa.
he took it, and that's my name.
Whoa. So parents are pregnant with their second child, and there you are, and you name your child My City. That sounds like something right out of the Bible to me. I don't know about you, but that is so beautiful that you. What was that like? Like when you knew that, not probably by the time you're 8 or 10 years old, you know that this is what your name means. And
you are asking the best question about it. It wasn't easy. My father, was very proud, and he wanted. For me, it wasn't easy because there wasn't such a name. They created it for me.
Oh my
It didn't
goodness.
exist. Even today, you don't find this name. There's
You were absolutely
Irit
right.
and
I have
Iris and all kinds, but not.
I have never heard of the name
Yeah.
Iry.
So when I was young and I was in school, elementary school, I really didn't like it at all because everybody would ask me, and I was a very shy little girl.
Yes.
And I didn't want to explain to everybody. And the teacher in the beginning of the class would ask me, that's why you're named like this. And so when I grew up, I became proud of it.
Yes.
But that's a different story.
Yes.
But as a kid, I didn't like to be that. I didn't want to be different.
So how long was your father the mayor of Tel Aviv?
Altogether, he was there from 36 to 50, 16 years.
Okay, wow, 36.
36 to 52.
To 52. Your father was part of course, after Israel was founded, after the armistice agreement was signed, and it looked like there was reasonable possibility of safety, that there would be some kind of state. Your father had to preside over a very difficult situation. You were telling me it relates to the city of Jaffa and Tel Aviv. What was that?
Right. Jaffa was mostly Arab city, and Tel Aviv, and with relatively poor population.
And Jaffa is just slightly south of Tel Aviv, right? It was to the okay.
It's also on the beach.
Yes,
the beach.
Jaffa was on the beach, but Tel Aviv was inland, or was Tel Aviv on the beach too? Also on the beach.
Still
Okay.
is on the beach. And the government was decided that they should join Tel Aviv and Jaffa into one city.
The government of Israel.
The new government of Israel.
Oh, as a symbol of how we can live together in peace and things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, first of all, there was a big discussion about how will you call the new city? Jaffa, Tel Aviv, Jaffa. They took my father's suggestion that it be called Tel Aviv Jaffa. Tel Aviv Jaffa. Ben-Gurion at first wanted to call it Jaffa, the whole thing.
Oh, just
because Jaffa is an old, ancient
yes,
city.
Yes.
But at the end they called it Tel Aviv.
You've just answered a question for me. I have always wondered, when you go on Google Maps and you look at Tel Aviv, it says Tel Aviv-Yafo.
Nachon.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why.
So that's why it was a big to-do. And then my father said, if you're joining these two cities, you have to give me a lot of resources for education, for cleaning the city, for this, for that. So he had a big fight with the government. He was in the government then.
Yes, yes.
And it wasn't easy to provide services to a city that didn't have them.
So your father ended up now being mayor of the combined city. Was there a mayor of Jaffa at the
No,
time?
but he appointed somebody like deputy, to
Oh,
be responsible.
to be responsible for so that the Arab people would feel like they have a representative to speak with directly. And well, very nice. Now, why did your dad stop being the mayor in 1952?
Because in 1952 there were elections in the country. He was one of the leaders of the political party called the General Zionists.
General Zionist, okay.
Yeah. It was a middle of the way
Kind of
party.
Okay.
And the party won a lot of seats in the Knesset. And
Okay.
you know that our system of government has the coalition government.
Right.
The one who is appointed to be the prime minister is the man who is in the head of the biggest party.
Right.
And then he can decide what kind of coalition to form
Right.
for the government. So because the General Zionists won a large number of votes, of seats in the Knesset, he invited them to join the coalition. In order to join the coalition. And he wanted my father specifically to be the Minister of Interior because the Minister of Interior is in charge of all the local governments. And he thought that my father's experience would be very good for that.
Yes.
So my father was very conflicted about leaving being the mayor of Tel Aviv. He loved it, he was invested emotionally.
If you name your second child after it, I mean, goodness, it's got to be right there with his heart.
He really was very, it was very difficult for him. He finally decided to take it.
The Ministry of
Interior.
Of the Interior.
Yeah.
What does the Ministry of Interior do? And that's still a position today in Israel.
Yeah, today it's different. At that time,
but at that time,
it was in charge of all the city councils, all the city councils, their budgets, their services. They had to approve anything that the city mayors do.
Yes.
Today it's different. So he decided finally to take it. It was a very, very difficult decision.
Very difficult decision.
I could see how difficult it was for him. But we had to move to Jerusalem.
Oh, of course. That's where the government was. Okay.
Yeah, and I had to pay my part by leaving school and going to a school in Jerusalem.
Okay.
And it took 2 years, and after 2 years there was some kind of crisis in the coalition, and he stopped being the minister.
Oh, right, because if the coalition shifts, then you can lose your position very quickly, And approximately, when did your father finally pass away?
1959.
59, okay. So you've had a lot of years to reflect on that. It's been a long time, 1959 has been a long time since then. What sort of career did you select for yourself in the years that would follow?
I decided to study psychology.
Okay, psychology.
Yeah, I started studying at the Hebrew University.
Okay.
But then I saw in the newspaper an announcement that you can compete for a scholarship to go to the United States.
Yes.
Which I did. And I did the rest of my studies in the United States.
What university did you select in the US?
I didn't select. The people, the foundation that gave the scholarship decided for the people who got it. So they sent me to, I'm breathing like this because I didn't like it, to Mount Holyoke College. Do you know what it is?
No. What was
Mount Holyoke. It's one of it's called the Seven Sisters in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Very good college, but only for women.
Oh, okay.
And for me, it was very, very strange because it doesn't exist here.
Yes, yes.
know,
There are a number of universities in the United States that in up until even 50 years ago, there was sort of women's colleges and men's colleges and so forth.
Yeah.
I know Baylor University did it.
And having
And
been
so-
already in the army before.
Oh my
and
goodness!
everything, It
Oh my
wasn't
goodness.
for me. It wasn't for me.
Well, then, how did you meet your husband? In America?
In America, yeah. I had a summer job in Washington, and that's where he lived. So we met through friends.
Okay. Well, it's been wonderful speaking with you and to hear this history. I feel like I have a little bit of sense now of on the ground, rather than just at the high level. I just have just a little portal, a little window now into what it was like to be there in those times. I think I want to conclude by asking you, I know you talk about your father, I know you respect your father from the way you've been speaking about him. You're proud of him. You're proud of being named in my city, which is just fascinating. What do you see in Israel today that makes you feel proud of your father and what he did so many years ago in Tel Aviv?
I tried to look through his eyes if he saw it today.
Yes.
And I think that he would be very happy to see how the city has grown. And
Yes.
everybody wants to live in Tel Aviv.
Yes,
and
it's huge.
It's very, very wonderful place. I think that he would be very upset if he heard of the prices of houses in Tel Aviv today.
Oh,
They're
that is...
high, they're unbelievably high. It would depress him, I can say, because he always wanted young people to come to Tel Aviv and live, and today it's just about impossible. So I think he would be ambivalent. He would be very proud of the services of the city, and it has become and stayed a cultural center, for music, for the theater, for all the things that he was involved in.
Yes.
We didn't talk about it, but it's true. For that, he would be very happy, but I think he would have been happier if young people could come and live there.
It really, that has just, prices have skyrocketed in the last 10 years, and it really is a difficult issue.
Yeah.
And lastly, today Israel has full health care, and there's schools going up all over the place, and that sounds to me like that Israel today carries with it some of that DNA just from the way you describe it, it sounds like it's... So when you look at the services and the things that are happening in Israel today, do you think of your father?
I think of him, but I think that he would want more.
He would want more.
More social services. I think the social services are not enough for our needs.
Yes, yes.
But
so if he was here today, he would be proud. He would also be looking for how things could be better still.
He would fight for more.
And would be willing to fight for it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is a wonderful picture of a man that, wow, I wish, I could have met such a man myself. And I hope you've enjoyed this insight into Tel Aviv, to Israel, to its history, from Palestine to Israel. I'm just so thankful that you were willing to join us and tell us the story, Iry. And I will never forget your name in my entire life. I guarantee it. And I hope you don't either. So
I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you.
Much.
Thank you very much. So until we do this again with another interview, this is Bob Odell and
Iry Ricci.
Iry Ricci saying to you, Shalom.
Shalom.